Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Another late video today, guys. So another bullish day, crazy bullish day. Lots of going on. So much news today. So many upgrades, downgrades. So anyways, we have a bunch of tickers to discuss. We'll discuss Tesla Chop, Q's Long All Day, AMD Big Winner. So there's a bunch to discuss. Just before I start, quick introduction. Today again I'm gonna go quickly because of the late video. So all these trades and teachings, all these trades and teachings are anything I share on Twitter, on YouTube, or anything I share in my community, Tana Trade Group. Any trades, if I take those trades or if I don't trade, but still I guide those trades in my community, and many of these trades are being taken by the traders in our community. We do not trade random. We have a repeatable system that thousands of traders use to make consistent money in the stock market with defined risk. We have repeatable setups which we play again and again. Setup is what you trade, system is how you trade. We always stick with our setups and system. Every morning before the pre-market, me and my team, we create a game plan with all the news, gappers, up gappers, down gappers, support pivots, resistance pivots. Support pivots provide us a bullish bias or a bearish bias, and similarly resistance pivot provides us either a bullish pivot or a bearish pivot based upon where are we with the EMA Clouds. And we have a initial pre-market planning, pre-market buys that we follow as well. This was the plan for today. There's a bunch of names going out today. There are so many names: Taiwan Semiconductor, SGH, a lot of upgrades, downgrades on Amazon, Apple, AMD, Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, SMCI, ROKU, MA, and bunch others. And additionally, we do also provide our daily trading levels that we can use with our system to trade long or short. I also provide what we call as my day 2 day 3 strategy. This is my repeatable strategy that I have been teaching for a long time. Also, this strategy, I did a free webinar as well to teach everyone. And then we also have our crypto watch where we trade anything related to crypto stocks like coin, MSTR, and we watch those levels as well. I'm usually on voice first few hours of market open in my community. Guiding the traders through long or short, what's the market doing, market commentary, guidance if I'm taking any trades, what I'm taking. So first few hours, that's what we do in our community. So I will try to show you my time-stamped comments. Of course, I can't show you what I was talking on voice, but we'll go through each trade, what was the idea, and we'll try to learn from the repeatable setups how you can how we make money or how we lost money and what was the setup and what was the reasoning behind it and how we manage the trade. So we are going to take a look at all of that. So let's start. All right, guys, let's start with the Qs today. We can talk about SPY as well. It's basically the same concept, the same long setup as well on SPY. But the reason I want to talk about Qs today specifically because Q was a 500 psychological breakout. So that makes things kind of easy to trade versus that 500 number, right? I mean, let's go back. Maybe we can also look at SPY, right? In the morning when the market opened, SPY was kind of heavy, right? In the first candle was heavy. But then if I look here, it held these Ripster clouds, right? You see that it held it and then they turned bullish. So that was fine. It turned bullish right here and tried to break out, and then it pulled back. Then there was this setup, a flag, kind of a flag or downtrend line, whatever you can call it. That's what I noted on the voice. I was on the voice. That's what I noted, and I told everyone that we have a setup here. And same thing was on QQQ, right? This trend line, right? So this trend line was the long setup with the risk right under there. So when was this happening? This was right here at 11. So of course there was not really much to trade right at the open, but this is where the trade setup came, and this is where the Q's trade setup came. So by the way, we want to come with the SPY QQQ webinar, how to trade for living. Watch out for that. We'll do that. So I can go to Q's and then we can talk about that as well. So initially Q's were heavy, right? This is amateur move. So amateur move can change quickly, but then comes the trend move. And Qs did the same thing. They were not able to break out, right? And then they pulled back. And the real move on Qs came here in the afternoon, right here. So that was around 11:20, right? So we can go and look at the alerts on Qs. So let me see. You see this alert right here. So first one was 3450 right here, 3450 right here. And then the second one was another 3450 alert right over here at 11:30 because it confirmed the hold over 3450. And then came the 500 psychological breakout. So it's a big breakout, it's a big psychological level, so that will of course want to give it a push. So we break 500, then we push over the high of the days. So you just need to stay long in the 500 calls or 501 calls, whatever you want to trade. And then even at the close, it tried to break the 512s, but never really came down. And then it, here is it, right? Said reclaimed bullish, and then it squeezed, right? So that was the end of the day squeeze. Same was for SPY. When you were trading SPYs, this flag here, you see this when it gave this alert. So setup on the SPY and QQQ, both of them came at midday, right? So those setups were midday reversals. There was two things to note here. One was Ripster cloud held, and then this was a downtrend line. That's why I mentioned very important to use these trend lines, downtrend lines or flags for your midday repeatable setups. So, and you could easily draw a trend line, the breakout, the flags all day. That was the strength. So you long here, you use the stops here, or you long at this breakout, then your stops have to be a little wider here, and then you trade it long all day, right? So that's what I was saying on the voice, that we are turning bullish. 500 psychological breakout. I did tell everyone that if we break out of the 500 psychological level, then we're going to push more. Then a lot of these other names are going to push more. Individual names are going to push more. Apple is going to push more, which we're going to discuss. So today it was all about this 500 psychological level. And you can see the chart that I shared a few days back. I shared this breakout right here, and you can see how the breakout is panning out. And same thing was on SPY. I shared this breakout right here, this one, and you can see how the things are panning out since that breakout. So nothing is too high, nothing is too low. It has just the chart patterns, right? So you just need to follow. So the best entry on SPY QQQ was, there was no entry here. Remember, there's no entry here. And you see, I'm not really talking anything about that as well. But the real setup is this. The trend line gives you added conviction to trade SPY QQQs, right? So an all day. And the other thing is, I mentioned the ATR. I think I tweeted about it as well. When SPY was breaking out, the ATR was just 60%. And that's what I told everyone, that ATR, SPY always can move to its 100% ATR. Was same here. If I can, I don't know what that is. So you can see here, let's see if I can move it on the side, on the left, then I can show you guys. So ATR went to 118% on SPY, went to 100% on QQQ. So when you're long here, or you're long here on those breakouts, let's say you have 558 calls or 559 calls, so you can use these ATR to see how much more room we have, right? So I never really told anyone to quit or cancel their longs, because as long as the 512 holds, you hold. We did pull back right here on the Qs, but then we squeezed back up because we reclaim that bullish. And this is one of the end of the day setups, which I will cover in detail in the webinars. But today was a very, a lot of traders did really good today. It was very, trend day. There was easy entries here, breakouts, and 500 psychological level was big. And so as far as market is bullish, they hold. You see, there's not a single time did it break 512s, and not a single time did it break 512s. It tried to break it, but it held it. So there was no reason to either short the market or not long the market, right? You were supposed to be long all day and just trade it, right? And there, so you can just example of how the traders are doing it. You can see Arsalan, who was trading SPX and QQs in community, and he literally turned $100 into $1,000 trading, small sizes, let them work. So that's what happens on a trend day. So that's what happens on a trend day. This is a good risk reward. Very nicely done. So that when you have this repeatable setups on SPY QQQ, that's what you can do. All right, let's look at the next setup. Next, we're going to talk about Tesla loser today. So in the morning, it was long was a loser. Let's look at Tesla. Let's go back and see what was happening with Tesla. And we will talk about midday long as well, which kind of worked. So we know that what was going on Tesla today. Today the Goldman Sachs came in and they increased the profit target. It was kind of sus because what were they doing when the stock was at 200, and now they come upgrade it when the stock is up 60-70%. So the plan was to long as long as it stays over 262. So that was the plan, and short if it breaks 262. So that was simply the plan, and of course it was an amateur move. So in the amateur move I was short scalping it, but then it, instead of breaking down, it swiped right back, and then I stopped out of the short. And then I did a starter long. I told everybody I'm turning starter long right when when this candle was opening, and we did push a little bit. And I was not full size, not a full size, because this was the breakout which we wanted right here. You see this 1, 2, 3, which did come on later. But here's the thing, right? We have been running crazy on Tesla, and it was kind of under the clouds. So shorts didn't work because the 262 level I talked about got reclaimed. It was an amateur move. So I knew that, and I was a small size. I was not a crazy size because it's still a bullish news, but we were trying to play this 262 break. But then it swipes back, you stop out, you see I turned long on Tesla right there from short, and then it failed the breakout. So then it failed the breakout right away. I knew that it's not worth holding. And when it pulled back, I cut the longs as well. So, but the loss on the long was not much because my size was small, because I was going to add a bigger size over the breakout. Amateur size is always small, but still it was a loss, right? So in the first 20-30 minutes, first 10 minutes we lost on Tesla. And then we lost on the long on the long as well. And after the 2 tries, I usually don't try it further, but I did scalp short again because this time 262 failed, and then Tesla pulled back right here. So, and it pulled back to 258s, and I was not interested in the long rest of the day. So the way you manage it, that you either wait, it's a judgment call, right? You know that there is a no long until we break out here, right? And you either wait on the amateur move, and if you're trading amateur move, you wait for a buyer to come in, and you do not size too big. The only way to avoid these kind of losers are to do not size that big. And when Tesla came back here, I was not interested in this long because choppy, 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 choppy. And after that, Tesla did try to break out the 1-hour trend, and even that it failed later. So Tesla was all day kind of not an A plus setup today. Yes, there was this setup 512 curl. You could make some money here, and we did scalp some here, but this breakout didn't really hold. So I told everybody to cut when it failed this breakout. So it was a failed breakout today on Tesla. So this was a failed breakout. Now today Tesla is bearish, so we have to watch tomorrow. If markets is heavy, then Tesla might be a bearish day on Tesla. So we will be ready tomorrow to trade Tesla. Either way, we'll see what happens on Tesla tomorrow. But anyways, so that's a recap of the short loss on the long side and the short side in the morning, and how you could trade this 512 curl middle of the day. Then 1-hour chart, 1-hour flag breakout, you could scalp it. Once it failed, there's a big seller. We use bookmap these days to check that, and then you just exit. So overall it was just a choppy day on Tesla, no direction, upgrade when the stock has run so much. So but you learn from this, and you can always look at the 1-hour candles, how they're reacting. but most probably anybody who was long in the morning got stopped out, and maybe you made some money when you got long back over 262. Remember what I talked about, this 262 level here, right here, 262, long over 262, short under it, right? So you could have definitely made money later in the day, 262 run, but it was not like A plus setup, because whole day it was stuck in this range. That was the problem. Pre-market highs, pre-market lows, yesterday highs, yesterday lows. Now tomorrow will be important to see what Tesla does, right? If it breaks this 260 area, the 260 area, then we'll be bearish. Then we will be bearish and short. And if it breaks the cloud, then it will be more bearish. It's already breaking the 10-minute clouds. So we just have to watch what happens tomorrow. So next one we're going to look at is AMD. All right. So let's go back and see what was our plan on AMD today. So AMD was on our game plan today. So AMD had acquired Silo, an artificial intelligence company, and that's why it was running. It was a little extended at open, so we decided to watch it what it does at open. 178 was our risk level, support level. 178 was our level on AMD. So let's see what happens on AMD. So AMD was mostly my voice guidance. The amateur move, I decided not to do anything on the amateur move. But look here, where did AMD pull back to? The 178 level we discussed in the pre-market. So 178 was a support, resistance was 180.41, right? So that's where it pulled back. Then when it reclaimed the clouds, that's when I started to see flow come in on the scanners. We have all those flow scanners in our community, and that's when I told everybody long it. And that's when I gave the 182 first target. Then I told everybody to hold 183 next target, and we logged 183 halves, and then next target I gave was 185. Then I told everybody to log more, leave half or roll for 186 target. So that's what I told everybody at that was right at 10 a.m. and by 10:30 we had already touched 187, and all our calls were up 70-80%. I had made enough profit from 180s to 186s that I bought 190 calls as well, which like I lost for sold for like minus 50%, because the lotos are always 100%. So the point is, if I made 5 grand, I can easily throw 500 into 190 calls, which even if they are not working, I'm still profitable, right? So that was the plan. So I rolled into 190 with profit, and when AMD broke this 512s, I was out of it. And then I did see that it hold this level. We did try the midday trades, which kind of did not work. There was a lot of seller on AMD there. 512s breaks, tries to go, and then breaks again, and then it just fails, right? We were trying to trade this 1 hour, this 1 hour breakout, which kind of failed. You could see the failed candle right here on the 1 hour breakout. So most of the money on AMD was made in the morning, and afternoon we gave up a little profit. Was really a good trade all day. AMD in the morning, beautiful. You can see my timestamp guidance here. And just to go back to show you guys, just to show you guys the AMD trade idea that I had was actually this was, let's go back, let me see, I can show you guys. So this was our original swing idea right here. You see that how it's kind of making a breakout setup. I gave this idea on July 2nd 2024, and you see after that we're just going up. 172 target, 180 target, 184 target was the swing target that we met today. So right, so that was AMD swing and day trade, guys. Big winner for us. All right, guys, the next one we're gonna look at is Apple. So let's see what was our plan on Apple. Let's go to our game plan for the day. So let's look at what was our plan on Apple. So Apple, there was a profit target increased by Needham, and I told everybody the 230 is the breakout on Apple. The Apple levels were 230, 231 on the resistance side, and let's see what happens in the morning on Apple. So Apple was the strongest setup today in the morning on our screen. So I told everyone that Apple is the strongest one, you can long it, and this was the breakout that I gave in the morning. That was 230 breakout. An initial breakout paid nicely. We went on to 231.64. The options moved nicely 30%. So that was a nice move. My final target was 233. So my final target that I gave everybody was 233. And then there was also news that came up end of the day, and we did push to almost push close to 233. And then finally it breaks down. That's where you exit. Other thing I teach every day to people: if 512 clouds and 3450 clouds are very close, right, then you can risk the clouds. You can let it pull back and hold till the clouds hold. In this case, the 512s and the 3450s were just 30-40 cents apart. So you can risk this cloud instead of this cloud, especially if you're profitable. You lock half your position, leave half as break even, or leave half as long as 3450 cloud holds. So that's a judgment call you have to make, right? And then it continues to push, and it met our 233 target. So it was a nice win for the community today, all day on Apple Long. All right, let's look at SGH. So let's see what was the plan on SGH here. So SGH was our earning trade. It's our earning setup. So SGH reported third quarter profit lower, expenses have the offset double digits drop in revenue, right? So we were long. The plan was to long over 2440 and gap fill under it. So that was the plan. So as soon as the market opened, SGH was strong. You see it held our risk level. It was over our risk level, so you could long it right away, and you can use this the risk of 2450. And when I was voice, I did tell everybody that it's a good long, it's a confirmed long, and then you hold it. I gave the target of 28, and then with 28 target met, and then also gave this flag breakout and 29 target on SGH as well. It was all day long winner for us in the community. A lot of my guidance on this was on a voice, but you can see the pre-market plan long over 2440s, and you can see the how we were long over. If I just take some of this out, this was the pre-market high breakout right here, and that's pre-market high held the support, and then break out of that nice little flag for all day trend, right? Not a single time did it break 512s. SGH was an all day long setup, nice earning plays. If you're interested in more earning plays, make sure you watch my earnings shorts. Some much more webinars coming up as well on earnings. So next one week we're going to watch CVNA. So CVNA initially it was again amateur move. Let's go. What was our plan on CVNA? So plan was CVNA was if 130 breaks for a B minus shorts first, if that it can pull back for B minus short. B minus short means that it can break 512 clouds and it can pull to 3450 clouds. So that's a B minus short, right? And the breakout was 132. So those were our two levels that which we were supposed to trade on CVNA. So let's see what happens in the morning. Initially it breaks 132, 130, and again it's an amateur move. That's when I said no long yet. If it stays heavy, we can short it, but it was still over 3450 clouds, so it was not a short. But then it confirmed bullish. You see that? Right away it swiped, it confirmed bullish, and then it broke out of our 132 level. So then it was long to 136.55s. My target was 136. By 10 a.m. we did meet like 136.50s, and then when it broke 512s, I told everybody to close it under 512s, and then it was in the gap fill, right? Where is the gap fill? So this is the gap fill. This is the opening price. This is the yesterday closing price. So this is the gap trade. So I told everybody if it breaks 3450 can fade, any pops if stays heavy, watch that. And from that 512 cloud break, it faded all the way to 127. So that was $5 per share profit there. You know, if you risked $1,000, you would have made $4,000 on $1,000 share short. So that was our trade, right? So that's what I told everyone. Gap fill short working, full gap fill covering. It was not a full gap fill. It was, there was still a decent amount of gap fill. But let's see where it was, if I can find out. Yeah, it was right around under 0.61 Fibonacci. But regardless, you still need to cover, and once it bouncing, you just get out. And then there was a 512 curl setup on CVNA. This was 512 curl. This was 3450 curl right here over 131. There was a 3450 curl, and there was a nice scalp into 133s. Anyways, CVNA was a good trade, just in the morning for us. All right, I'm just gonna go a little longer or faster. The video is going a little longer. So what was BIDU today? So BIDU was our loser today. We were long BIDU versus 98, and it was breaking 100. It did push to 101.30. Again, it didn't really do anything after the amateur move, right? It was again the amateur move, pushed here, pulled back, broke 90-100. When it was not able to hold 100, I knew it's not going to work. Break 512, we get out, take a lose, move on, loser, move on. So BIDU was a loser today. You can see there was no trend after the amateur move. All right, let's look at ROKU. So ROKU was on our game plan today. Let's see how we did on ROKU. So a lot of traders were trading ROKU in the community today. Let's see what was the news. I'm looking for the news here. So ROKU, yeah, there's a profit target by benchmarks, right? So that was the news on ROKU today. There was a profit target, a benchmark, which is like a tier 4 bank. It's nobody really cares, right? I told everyone if only long if 63 holds. So what happens to ROKU? Break 63 and it's fade. So that's, you short it under that, right? You don't long it because 63 is breaking down. It was a nice little fade on that 63 level. Just want to show you the importance of the levels, right? How these upgrade and downgrades work. Even if it's an upgrade but it's breaking down, you'll still get the volume. The thing with these upgrades and downgrades is you will get volume. Either it's fading or it's going up. There's always a volume because the longs are getting, if somebody's trying to long the upgrade, they're selling it. And then if somebody's already has a position, they are selling it and the shorts are covering. So you get a lot of volume. So that's why it's not just bullishness on upgrade, and it's not just to long it. You short it as well because we're going to get a volume. And there was a nice big pop yesterday, maybe a pop into this upgrade, somebody knew that, and then nice fade today. So ROKU, understand this, learn this on his upgrade and downgrade trades. All right, let's look at Amazon quickly. So what was the plan on Amazon? What was the trade on Amazon? Let's see. Amazon had a profit target increase from TD Cowen. Bezos, of course, sold at 200. We all know that. Again, I told everybody to only long the 200 breakout. So if you see my guidance in the community on Amazon, and again, Amazon had a lot of volume. There was an upgrade, so a lot of people were trying to trade it again, but there was still a heaviness at this area. So I told everyone 190 there, fade it if that 198 breaks, short that if that 198 breaks, fade. So 190 breaks, I told hold the puts, and I gave the 198 target on that fade on the voice, and we hit our 190 target because everybody's long. There's an upgrade, everybody's waiting for 200 breakout, and everybody stopped out once we broke this pivot on Amazon, which I'm going to discuss here, show you guys this 199.30. So 199.30 was gone. That was it. Amazon was a short, and I did tell everybody that's where we're gonna go. And on the voice was a nice trade for all of us. The short on Amazon, it was a nice 30% on the puts, and almost dollar and a half short there. Amazon did give a curl as well in middle of the day, 512 repeatable curl for long setup. Was definitely a good today. We don't know if 200 breaks. We keep waiting for it. Maybe it breaks, maybe it doesn't. Who knows? It depends on the market tomorrow. All right, let's now quickly look at SMCI. What was SMCI doing? So SMCI had a downgrade, right? So SMCI had a downgrade, I think so. Yeah, so it was a downgrade again. I told everybody only long if clouds hold. 900 was a breakout pivot that you see right here. So let's see what SMCI was doing. So initially SMCI was bearish, there was no long, but you see this is 3450 cloud turn. I was on voice, I told everybody 3450 call is happening, you can long it, and the target I gave was 910, and we did log half the profit there on 910. We were hoping 900 holds, but it gave up. Then we sold rest when 512 breaks, right? So first profit is here. A lot of traders logged full profit, so it was a decent, nothing special, just a midday scalp, 3450, and push into 1913. All right, next one we're going to look at is CAVA. Let's look at CAVA. So CAVA was, I saw it on my scans today. I was not watching it, but I suddenly came on my scans. We have our trade idea scanners, and there was a lot of volume on CAVA in the morning, right? So I have this special scanner that I watch all day, and it's free scans that I share in the community. And the CAVA was, I saw the weakness, and I said short, watch the pops to short it and fade it, room to fade to 84. That was the target I gave everyone. And even if you got it a little late, you still scalped nice, few couple of dollars to 84 short on CAVA. Nothing special, easy, just a couple of trade. And of course we have to cover because it's right here, Ripster 50 EMA Clouds. All right, let's look at MasterCard now, MA. So MA had a downgrade today. So let's go back and see what was planned on MA. Both MA and Visa had downgrades, but both were planned to bearish to short the pops. And MA pops, what was our resistance? MA resistance was 441. Never really popped so much, but it still failed, and it faded all day as per the game plan. That was our plan, to short it all day on the bearishness. So that was nice on MA as per the game plan that I gave in the pre-market. But again, this was a downgrade, right? So that's how you play downgrade. If you look at the chart, you look at the daily chart. If daily chart is breaking a support key level, 1 hour is bearish, then you need to stay bearish, right? Everything is bearish. And if it's not reclaiming the 512 EMA Clouds, you stay short. Look at this. The daily is breaking a support. So that's why I told everybody bearish to short the pops. And then we got a curl setup. End of the day, MA was curling over here, 512s. And then I told everybody exit shorts, 512 curl. Not enough time left, otherwise I would have taken the long, but a lot of traders did take a long on MA right here on Ripster 512 curls, and it gave them $3 profit. Look at the system. Look at how consistent this system is. You are short all day, and then you long here MA at later in the day, right here in the 512s. 512 curl, repeatable 512 curl setup. Visa was also short the pops, but it never gave us a setup. You see, it pops and then it goes sideways. You look at the difference between Visa and MA. MA was lower lows, lower highs, so that's a better short than Visa. So anyways, these were both the downgrades that we were bearish biased on them, and that's how you trade the downgrades. If everything is bearish, the chart is bearish, you watch for the pops. If the clouds are stay bearish, you short it and make money on the puts. All right, let's look at Honeywell today. Honeywell, the news on Honeywell today was that they bought an LNG business for 1.8 billion. Because usually when a company spends so much money, it's all day bearish. That's why I had an initial bias to short the pops. But you only short the pops if it's under the clouds. But guess what? It held the daily clouds, the daily 2021 EMA. So there's no short there, and it's a long. And it pushed over my pivot. What was my pivot on Honeywell? My pivot on Honeywell was 211.30, 211.30. So once it's over that pivot, there's no short, it's a long. And that's what I told everyone in the community. Nice long over pivots. And it all day, since I gave the long, it ended up 214.49 from that. The difference to note here is that the 1 hour was still bullish, right? 1 hour was bullish, and then the 10-minute was of course bullish, and then was this flag on daily chart and the bounce from 2021 EMA Clouds. Just quickly recap. Snow was our day 2 day 3 short today. It was breaking this Ripster 2021 EMA Clouds, gave a nice short, then also gave a nice 512 EMA long, which was called out in the community, and I can show you Snow here. It was on our day 2 setup, 137.46, 138.41. Once it breaking the Ripster daily EMA Clouds, it makes it a high probability setup, so always use that. Also want to talk about WIX. So WIX was on our game plan today, which I do like this name for a swing. That's what we are swinging it. So WIX, the game plan today was 200 million share repurchase, long on cloud pullback. That's what I told everyone, that long on cloud pullback, and WIX rallied all day from that see, if you waited on the amateur move, you got this trend move on 512s, right? It's much better. So WIX was a nice trade all day. So anyways, guys, that was it. Hopefully you guys learned good from these recaps. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye. Actually, I just want to recap one more. Sorry, Triple M. So Triple M today had a news, and the plan was to chief financial officer resigns, bearish to neutral trade versus the 100. That was the simple plan. When Triple M was breaking under 100, you short it, right? Break 100, you short scalp it. You know there's a Ripster daily clouds here, so you make sure you are covering in that area, and then when it gets bullish, you trade the 512 long calls, and then you trade the 100 breakouts as well. So there was a bunch of trades you could do on Triple M. So anyways, just wanted to discuss this 100 psychological level. All right, guys, take care.